Book of the week, You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty by Dr. Fereydoon, Batmanghelidj. Hi, everybody. It's Jason Barlow, RMT. I'm here today as your therapist and coach to help you transform your stress, your tension, and pain into health, happiness, and vitality. Thank you for joining me. Every week on Fridays is my book of the week, and this week I'm focusing in on the power of water to help heal your body. This is a beautiful book that was introduced to me by Paul Chek probably 20 years ago now. Once I read this book, I don't think I've skipped a beat by way of hydrating my body every day. And here's the interesting thing. When it comes to water, we don't have the capacity to store water in our body. We are constantly flushing it through our body, through our physiology. We're burning it, we're using it in every single action of our biological system or systems. We're constantly using that resource. So unless you're taking the time every day to put water back into your system, you're going to be depleted. You're going to experience signs and symptoms of dehydration. Now, as Dr. B, will shorten his name, Dr. B alludes in his book, the way that dehydration shows up in your body can be very unique to you. And his work extends well beyond just water and the benefits of it. He gets into all sorts of medical sciences. For example, asthmatics and people who suffer with allergies. He gets into how water can make a huge impact on those things. Here's another list of things: blood pressure, diabetes, constipation, digestive symptoms, autoimmune diseases, pain of all variations, heartburn, hiatal hernia, colitis, pain, headaches, and migraine, which has been in my focus this week on my blog and my other videos, rheumatism, big one, low back pain, osteoarthritis, obesity, talks about brain diseases, neurotransmitters, the influence on the hormonal system, hormones, as we said there, depression, chronic fatigue syndrome, dry burning eyes, higher blood cholesterol, coronary heart disease, hot flashes, gout, kidney stones, skin and dehydration, osteoporosis, cancer formation, and the list goes on. This is such a profound book. The essence to his story, I'll share with you. He was an Iranian doctor. In 1979, there was an Iranian revolution, and he was a political prisoner in Evin prison in Iran. And he was there for 2 years, 7 months. It was in there that his research into the curative powers of water actually began. The only thing they had at his disposal was water. And there were obviously many prisoners with him, and they knew that he was a physician, a doctor. So they would approach him and explain, the symptoms that they were experiencing. Well, the only resource he had was water. And he found that the more hydrated their bodies became, the less and less symptoms, and eventually even complete eradication of that pain or disease that they were actually experiencing. Once he was released from prison, he took refuge and came to the UK, and his entire research blossomed from there, and his entire career was dedicated to the powers of water, the profound impact it has upon human health and especially healing. So as I'd mentioned, we don't have the capacity to store water. We're constantly using it. So we've got to look and examine how much water do we need to drink on a daily basis. I put that information in the description below. You can calculate that quite easily based upon your body weight, and just aim to get that on an everyday basis. And if you struggle to remember to take your water bottles with you, I've had some clients just go out and buy the brightest water bottle that they can. Do whatever you need to do to constantly remind yourself to take that water bottle with you from home to work, or to just remind you to actually keep taking that water. You could, again, use timers on your phones if you wish to just remind you, set alerts and so forth, or just have a friend say, hey, listen, I really want to improve my hydration. Can you be my coach, my reminder on a daily basis, and just nudge me to get that water in? And it takes time. If you're not used to drinking, let's say I'm shooting for about 2 to 2.5 liters of water, but I'm used to taking half a liter of water. When you first start taking that volume of water in, guess what's going to happen? Your body's just kind of closed off to the idea of water coming in because it's been surviving for so long without it. So as a result, your body goes into this water preservation system. which means that it preserves the water that it's already got. And although you're putting water in, it's not very good yet at accepting that into the system and spreading it through the entire biology. So as a result, you end up disposing of it. You urinate more frequency. Your urine will become quite clear. And that's normal when you first start rehydrating your system. And so Dr. B shares with you how you go about building a program to help yourself rehydrate. And he goes a step further to actually share with you the powers of adding sea salt, most important thing, sea salt, not regular table white salt, but sea salt to your water to actually help that water go through a process of osmosis from extracellular to intracellular regions. So very often you might be getting lots of water in, but it might not be penetrating deep enough into the cells themselves because you've not got enough mineral content to the water. And again, the quality of the water that you're actually consuming very much determines the hydration of your system. So if you're looking at this review today of this book and going, well, I already drink lots of water, but you're not feeling the benefits of it, then you got to go deeper. And if you've not read the book, then you got to go read it. So this book, You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty by Dr. Batmanghelidj is my highly recommended book of the week. Go get it. It'll make a big impact in your health and healing program. Go get a copy today. Thank you for joining me today. Jason Barlow, RMT. You can go get a free copy of my book available at jasonbarlowrmt.com. Just leave me an email. I'll fire off a digital copy straight away to you. If you prefer this physical copy, it's bite-sized. I've designed it so that you can invest minimal time but get maximum results. But you've got to go get that copy, whether it's digital or paperback. Paperback, by the way, you can get it from Amazon. I share in here over 20 years of my experience as a massage therapist, as a nutrition lifestyle coach, as a personal trainer, what it is that you can do in brief amount of time to get quick results and maximum results. I've designed it so that you can consume it quickly. You can go from the back of the book to the front of the book, jump into the middle. It doesn't matter. You don't have to read it in sequence. What I recommend you do, though, is if you know there's areas in your health and wellness program that needs some refining, let's say, you can go to the contents at the front and just simply pick the section that's most applicable to you right now and almost create, let's call it a hierarchy of priorities for yourself, right? If you find that your mind tends to get easily distracted, you respond very poorly to stress, then make that a priority. Start there. And I discussed that in the chapters at the beginning of the book. If you feel like your diet's way off the charts and you're not having any control of that, then plunge into the dietary section in my book and so forth. But there's a lot of benefit to be had by getting a hold of my book and Dr. B's book too. And Dr. B's book I reference in my book, along with many other highly recommended books. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that's been of benefit to you. And remember, your muscle health is my #1 priority. Thank you and take care.